To Yaron.
Structure here.
Yaron gives it to Gibbs. Gibbs goes across to Carranzo. Nobody back inside the 50. Scotland is running back. McCaffer is going with him. Scotland to McCaffer. Well done, McCaffer. He won the juggling contest. Side bottom. Just lobs the ball to Ball. Thomas is on for the short one. He'll get it now. Carlton exposed at the back. The killer blow could be coming. Thomas hard against the boundary line. From behind Davis. Well, not sure about that. Still, it's out of bounds. This is not a bad result.
Great contest here by McCaffer to win one-on-one. He was in front too, and it's always dangerous getting pushed under the footy, but he held his ground. Good win.
Fraser in front, outmanoeuvred though by Cruiser. Gibbs, Simpson, Didac got him. Johnson. Tackled by Russell, hard against the boundary line. Gibbs back towards the wing. O'Brien reaches over the top, finds the footy on the ground anyway. Hand passes to Tuvey. They're just too good for Carlton. He kicks inside the 50. Wonderful mark, Russell.
I really like this player. He has got so much courage. He was maligned for a long time about his disposal, but he's worked really hard on eliminating those problems. But that's just courage.
Not only is that courage, that is textbook. He's actually turned his body in the air. He hasn't opened up his ribs and split himself open. That was a textbook defensive mark.
There's White. Hard against the line, White. There he is again, Russell. Seems to be okay now. Scrambles a kick out, but you get the impression it's coming back through the legs of Brown, though. Over the football Armfield. Was got a hand pass, then decided to kick. Wanders up towards the wing. Growing in stature, McCaffer. Ball's had a good game. Kicked 3 goals. Davis. Deep in the pocket, Davis. Armfield's got him. Ball jarred out of there. Hasn't been a stellar afternoon for Leon. Just 8 possessions.
It's really important that Carlton hang tough in this last 10 minutes. I reckon they've earned themselves a lot of respect and a lot of support for the way they've handled the big stage. But if they get blown out here, going into an important game against St Kilda, you can undo a lot of the good work which they've put on for us today.
Judd down towards left half forward. 36 possessions now for Chris Judd. His best at Carlton. There goes the kick inside the forward 50 from O'Halpin. Close to the boundary line. Garlett over the shoulder. Shaw, he kept it in. Not sure about the wisdom of that. Yes, I am. Got it from O'Brien. McCaffer's got it. Comes away from right half back. Beautiful kick coming out.
Hang on, 50-metre penalty downfield, Dennis.
Well, we'll finish up about where Daisy Thomas has got the footy. Just going back to Chris Judd, his best ever in the AFL for the West Coast Eagles. 39 against Brisbane. Round 5:06. You might remember that game.
He's been outstanding this afternoon.
Yep. Ball. It was interesting coming into the season. Chris Judd, and I said so in a newspaper interview during the week, almost unsexy. People talking about the best players in the competition. How quickly we forget.
He reminded us though in his comeback game against the Adelaide Crows just how good he is.
That pressure point did him no favours as the ball goes inside the 50, and Jolly, that was some leap. He got a bit of a ride, but gee, he was up high. Armfield comes away. Off the ball. Advantage is paid now against Davis, who was coming off the ground. He was coming off and he collected, I think it was White, high. Meantime, Carlton come down towards half forward. Mark is taken by Lucas, who played on a little prematurely. Tuvey. Well, Tuvey not fashionable, but very good. Sort of player Michael Malthouse loves. Johnson gets it from Maxwell. Again inside the forward 50, Medhurst. And the flame is just burning ever so brightly now for Collingwood.
Just been better by foot. Have a look at this leap by Darren Jolly. We've seen him take some big grabs too in the past. And this is just a beautiful kick by Johnson. Medhurst pushing off his opponent, Russell. Medhurst is very clever and very strong. In an open 50 like that, he's always going to get it.
Paul Medhurst going at his 3rd. Steps to the 50. And he's missed. Just the 1 goal last week for Paul Medhurst, but he's still on record. We were talking about Irishmen before and long-standing records. I think his Anzac Day speech when he won the Anzac medal will stand for a long time. A highlight. Gibbs goes short. And Joseph's away. Outside the defensive 50, waiting for the ball to come. Jacobs held without the football. Scotland comes across to McLean.
You mentioned Tuvey before. Dennis is an unfashionable Mick Malthouse type of player. He's now strung up to about 25, 26 games in a row. He came off the rookie list. It's almost stereotypical Collingwood defender.
Yep. No frills at all. Judd hand passes towards the wing. So he's approaching his best ever performance in terms of raw stats. Chris Judd. There goes Simpson taking the mark.
He's done the homework last night, Dennis. Just looking looking at Leon Davis. He's never kicked 5 goals in a match, which I found fascinating. You would have thought that a player of his ilk would have been able to boot 5.
I would have thought so. Didak. Sidebottom's kick is pretty wayward, and he puts it out of bounds on the full.
He's got 4 goals 9 times, so can't get over that Irish barrier of 4.
Yeah, well, he's certainly no Irishman.
I'm confident of that.
There's White driving it towards the outer side, and the mark is taken by Cloak. Gee, they've been impressive today, Collingwood. Every time Carlton came, they just put down the resistance. Long ball towards full forward at the back of the pack. Can he start work on his 5 here? Paddles it around the boundary, Davis. Still going, Davis. It was good hands. Johnson, Pendlebury, or rather Wellingham.
That's clever.
Jolly.
Showed Wellingham's ability. A younger player, or not a younger player, a less crafty player would have had a snap from there, long range point, but he's actually pulled the kick at the last minute. You'll see it here perfectly. Gets the handball off Johnson, thinks about going, looks inside, executes the skill perfectly. That is fantastic play.
It was a very good set shot for goal, Darren Jolly. With a sound technique, probably one of the better ruckmen who can kick in the competition. Watch this, Dennis.
You keep your reputation sort of out there, don't you? There goes the kick. Jolly puts it through. Very good judge, David Schwartz.
Hasn't been getting the big numbers that he can acquire. He's only coming in for his 7th possession, but he hasn't had a huge influence over the Collingwood side since he's actually moved into the centre for the Collingwood Footy Club. But he'll warm up. He'll get better as it goes along.
He's their 13th goal kicker for the day, Ox. It's a fantastic contribution and spread, as we know that they can do.
So Darren Jolly gets the margin out to 40 points. Big night on Friday night football. The Field of Women, an initiative, Melbourne, and the AFL. And if you want to be part of it, you can see that web address. In goes Murphy, robbed of it by Swan. Relentless runner is Swan. Goes wide, Didak wheels around in characteristic fashion. Kicks inside the forward 50. Beam surprised it carried the pack. Johnson to Beam. So dangerous in this situation. Over the top down there was Davis. Wellingham arrives in the nick of time. Grabs the footy and snaps.
Showed Wellingham, I should say, is becoming a very, very good player for Collingwood. He's improved out of sight. He's good at the ground ball. He's good in the air. He's very good in a contested situation. But he's clean, he's sharp, and he brings other players into the game. We gave Jolly the last one before, and they've kicked the last 3, and all of a sudden the margin becomes a little bit worrying for the Carlton Footy Club. They were very competitive, and now it's out to 46 points.
Now, Dennis, this is one for you. This is a fantastic stat. This is the first time in AFL history that in the home and away season a club has played in front of 80,000 back-to-back games. Collingwood obviously last week, Anzac Day, and again today.
You're up there with Ox, Tom. These Sundays bring out the best in everybody. Bauer gets through. That's a magnificent attendance, isn't it? This kick goes inside the forward 50. O'Brien arrives quickly, spins out of trouble. Gave it across to Swan. Sidebottom's got it now. Didak. Just drifting back, Pendlebury. Wellingham outside. Pendlebury decides not to give it. And why should they? They've strangled the life out of Carlton. Awkward one for Didak. Well done by Gibbs, reaching over the top. Simpson has a birthday during the week. Up goes